Mhm. Let's see if now data is coming. Yes, that's good. Now I can finally see some data coming in my stream. So maybe it's an OBS restart problem after all. Anyways, guys, welcome back to my channel. And today, after a long break, actually, let me see what was the last commit for my video. Definitely, it has been a long break. And so the last thing was on 9th of November. So, yes, 8 days, more than a week is what has happened. And today, what I'm going to do is I'm planning to create the edit functionality for my transaction app. Okay. Edit of the income is something that we will handle because, like the um, like the expenses, the income, believe it or not, is also quite complicated. Rather, not complicated. I mean, we have already solved that issue, and the problems are pretty standard. What we faced with our expenses. Okay, so I'll give you a quick walkthrough of the application so that those who are new to this application or to the series, they understand what is happening, and obviously you will also get a sense what we are trying to do. Okay, yeah, there goes the expense manager. Basically, it's an application that I'm building, which I will be using myself to manage my expenses. I had an application which was built with Filament and I was using it for quite some time, but then I decided to build it because of some reasons. And yeah, what we have over here is I have the ability to add um, expenses. I have accounts. So when I add expenses, then the account balance reduces. Then I have categories. So I can have expenses or incomes from different categories. Based on that, there are certain calculations which happen. Then, after expenses, I introduced a concept of billers and their bills, which basically means each biller can have bills that can happen at some intervals. We have these many intervals to work with. And based on that, this application will allow you to see the upcoming bills. And you can decide to pay some of them. And what will then happen is they will result in expenses as well. And recently, we have introduced a concept of incomes as well, because if you have expenses, obviously you should have some income. Otherwise, how do you get the money to spend? Right. So, yes, we have that as well. And obviously, for everything else, and you can look at the code base. Now, we have the thing over here of adding incomes. What I will do is I'll go over here, I'll change this to maybe an expense so that the amount becomes zero. Okay, I had a lot of food, maybe somewhere over here, and with that, what will happen is my ICICI account now starts showing zero amount. Okay, after that, what I will do is pretty much try to have the ability to edit incomes. Now, if we look at the code over here, um, how we had handled the edit income, sorry, edit transaction, we will do that same. So I have controllers. Inside the controllers, I have my requests, update transaction. Okay. In this update transaction, obviously we had this authorize thing, then we had these rules, and then we had this with validator, which allowed us to, kind of um, do some level of checks in terms of the bank balance, when the edit is happening from one account to other or one category to another, those kind of edge cases we have handled over it. And based on that, we do provide necessary validation error messages and stuff. And once that is done, we have our transaction controller where we have this whole thing of executing our action to um, complete the transaction, right? Now, we will follow that same approach that is, I would say, a proven strategy, and we should rely on that. So, the first thing that I will have to do is, let me see how much have we completed in terms of the edit. This is going to transaction. Okay. I have a feeling this will be a two-part video because we will have to cover the front end first and then we will be able to cover the back end. So let's start with the front end. Okay. Um, Let me look at my notes and understand transactions is here. What I understand is, right now, this is taking me to the transactions page. Ideally, I would want that the table has the ability to understand where to take the user. Okay. So, how can we do that is something which we will first have to tackle. I am thinking, why don't we make the table smart so that it understands where to take the user? Okay. So how do we do that? Well, let me show you. So I'll just collapse everything. Resources, JavaScript, tables, and transaction table. Okay. Now, I will have to, in some way, be able to handle this. First of all, this click. Why? Because this is how I will be able to um, handle the view. But before that, what I will do is I'll open up my web.php. I have incomes except. So let me open this up as well. And you know what I would like to do here. So I have index, which is my list. Create is fine. Store user. Show, right? So the show is something which we will have to, kind of handle so that the income controller's show method is able to um, give us that thing, get that view. Now, how do we do that? Well, install now. No, I will install this later. Pages, incomes. I have this show.tsx. Let me go through this thing. So transaction form, yeah, I think this will continue to be the same. App layout, index from transactions. I don't think that will be the case because this one will have to be from incomes. Yes. Okay. Then these all things are fine. Yes, this becomes income routes. Uh, Index. I should get this. Yes. Income details is fine as well. Now, the URLs and stuff are fine. I'm just thinking. Yeah. This becomes this, correct? Pa, 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 pa. I'm just wondering whether I will need Anything else? I don't think so. So this is income show props. This is correct. Yeah, this is fine. I'll just need to replace this. Okay. This becomes my income details. Yeah. All these are standard stuff. We haven't made any change as of now. Okay. The only thing is in here, I need this page. So I will go over here. This thing becomes a transaction. Yes. And I'll need to return an inertia render, right? So inertia render. Okay. This is all fine. I need the accounts and yeah, the drop down. Do I have this service already injected? Yes, we do. So yeah, show now has these things. Refresh. Can I see? No. Why so? Uh, this response is an inertia response. So I think I already have the response. But why this is not rendering is the question. Yeah, I know why. So the thing is, this is actually something which I wanted to speak about. So, we have route model binding, and what I'm trying to do over here is income, but there is no entity called income. So, how do we manage this? I will, in my route model binding, I will get transactions. In here, if I do PHP artisan route list, I'm not sure if I will be able to grep income. Hmm? Right. So you will see I have, by the way, there was a filter something. I have seen this in Cursor when they, do these shell command line, things, tasks, right? At that time, I have seen that, but I tend to forget that. So sorry about that. But yes, using grep also, it's a very standard Linux command. You can even get that thing. So I can see that it is expecting income, and I don't have any entity called income. So how do we use transaction here? We have something called as parameters. Parameters, and yes, I'll say over here to Laravel that, my friend, what I'm expecting is incomes, but what it is actually is transaction. Okay, so now suddenly, if I have done everything correct, which is not the case, now why did that happen? Incomes, which is correct, and this is transaction, which is also kind of making sense. And then I don't get it. So let me go to the dashboard and for see whether even I'm looking at the correct thing. Looks like it. So it's going to transactions. Okay. And what I have done over here is incomes. Yeah. I think I was doing income and that's why it was failing. Now it is incomes. So no harm done. We are now loading this thing. Income details, view the details of the income. All this is fine. But this form still is not an income form. It's going to submit to transaction because we haven't made a change, right? If you see, this can be closed. Show.tsx, we are using transaction form. And inside transaction form, if I go here, you will see all my routes. Where are the routes? Destroy, store, update, correct? All of them are going to transactions. So this is not going to help me. But yes, if you understand correctly, what we are now going to do is pass one more parameter so that we know which page or in which situation this form is being rendered, so that our form submit can change, isn't it? That's the only way we can achieve it. At least that's what I understand is the most easiest way. So we need to pass a type. Now, how many places am I loading this component? This is the main component. Then I have one, two. This is the form, sorry, one. This is pages income, pages transactions, create and show. Yeah. So then it should have been four, right? Resources, pages, income, show is there, create is here. So what happened to the add? It has been a long time, right? So I do forget things a bit. Okay, income, I have a separate form. And now I think we can potentially look at moving it. Okay, first let me handle the edit. Okay, I'll get rid of this. And that's why that 3 makes sense. It should have been 4, but it is not. So we have transaction form. Pa, 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 pa. What is the best way to do it? I need to send a parameter, and I'm just thinking it would make sense for me to define that type in index.d.ts, because that's how I can use it in all places. Let me go over here somewhere. I should see my enums. No, not enums, type. Export type, transaction type. Yes, makes sense. Income and expense. Save. Okay. What is this? Yeah, fine. So I'll close this. And what I will do over here is literally in my form, okay, I would expect my prop type to be of type transaction type. Import that. Now I should have type. Yes, correct. And immediately all my components should start failing because I am not passing the type, which is now a required parameter. First things first, let's go over here. Transaction form. This is inside my incomes page. So yes, this type. Now, if you see, right, the advantage of the defining of type is that I get wrong, is what I'm saying, because we come back to this development after some time, and it is hard to remember what had happened. So the more code you are able to get as hint, it will be easy for you to do further development, isn't it? So that's why these things does make sense. Okay, I have this one form. Then this is inside transactions create, so obviously this is going to be expense, no problem at all. And this is transactions show, so yes, this is the edit version. I missed it, and we are done. This is fine. Yeah. Now with this, ideally my add expense form is loading. Perfect. Food. Wow, yeah, that's a lot of food. Does it work? Yeah, it does. So all set. We have done, I would say, a little bit of refactoring so that our form is now able to mm, take this. Okay, now let's go back to our form, and what I will do in here is I have this, but I will have my routes for transactions as well as my routes for income. So I will kind of do destroy transaction, store as store transaction, and this, and then I'll have to come over here. It will start complaining. I'll say yes, these things have changed. There should be one more, which is the destroy. Yes, thank you. And with this, ideally, this one refactor is done, isn't it? Now I'll have to copy this, and this becomes, I'll first do this one as income. Can you please hint me? Income. Perfect. So we have destroy as destroy income, store income, update income. Got it. Now, I think the use form is fine. We don't have any complication over here. This is where things will change. What I'm going to do here is actually that if my type is triple equal to income, yes, then update income or else store income URL. Yes. So if it is income and no, I'll have two conditions. If it is income, okay, and is edit, right, then I'll have this, else is edit, update transaction or store transaction. Okay, so let's try and understand. If we are getting is edit, what I'm saying is something like this. If my type is income, and in that, if it is an edit, then I'll do update income. Okay, or sorry, yeah, if it is income and if it is an edit, then we do update income, else store income. And if it is is this correct? If it is edit, yeah, type is else is edit, and then we have this, yeah, this is kind of correct, which we what we wanted. So this is there. Now rest of the code I would suspect doesn't need to change, because this is the only place where we have the URL. The rest everything is pretty standard stuff, isn't it? Handle delete will change as well. So I will have like if income, which is a triple equal to, yes, then I'll have destroy income, else I'll do destroy transaction, which kind of does make sense. And yeah, This thing might be too much. I'm thinking about it. Is edit, type this, then edit income, else edit expense. Yeah. It's fine. I think this is just fine. Okay. We will see if the readability is a big problem, then we will change it. Otherwise, this is fine. Now, what I have over here is if I click on food 123, it takes me to transaction 9. And if I click on this, okay, it continues to be there. But edit and category is now a problem. Why would category be a problem? Income? No. So this is the transaction form. Incomes. Yeah. This is salary. This is coming properly. I don't see an issue with this. Obviously, the update here would go to the transaction. Let me see what is happening. Press of log. So this is a redirect. Why? Should have some errors. No. This is a pure play redirect because yeah, it must not be saving things because it will not get certain data points because it's an income and it is getting saved into transaction. Fine. We will handle that because we have modified our table, form, but we haven't modified our table. That's what I was trying to tell, that the form is updated, but table we need to handle. So let's go over here. Table, yeah. I'm just trying to think it through. So if I need to understand, I mean, I'll have to first understand where the table is being rendered and what is the type, isn't it? And here I have show as show transactions and show income. Perfect. I will come over here. I'll get the type. So far, so good. Now, what I will have to do is this goes into a handle click. Okay. Yeah. Now, this is too much. I mean, this is a lot of code. I don't want ideally so much code inside my component. It should ideally come through a function. So first let me see. Okay, still not updated because why didn't it complain is something which I don't understand. But anyways, I'll still try and fix it. So this is here transaction. Now it is complaining. This is where dashboard. This is the transactions I'm showing. So this is fine. Then I have incomes. This becomes income. Again, fine. Then I come over here. This is transactions index. So this is expense. And yeah, that's about it. Let's see, refresh. Where does it take me? To income 7. Perfect. Now, if you see, my table is a little more smart because if I click on any of the income from the dashboard, it takes me to transaction. If I click on some from the expense listing, it takes me to the transaction. If I come to incomes, click inside here, I go to incomes /7. So my table is now up to date. It is, how do you say? It is able to understand whether it is rendering incomes or expenses, and based on that it is doing some basic routing. Not too much logic, which is fine to handle. The only thing is, what I will do is I'll say that this is fine. I will do something like constant handle transaction click, and this will get the transaction id, which is going to be of type number, arrow function, and I'll paste it over here. This becomes transaction id. This becomes transaction id, and I will just have this. Hey, the autocomplete was correct. Hold on. Yeah, a little bit of formatting and we are done. Okay, so now we have things in place. I will run our pint and npm run format, and let's look at the clock. How much have we done? It's about half an hour, and it's about 9:30 as well. I'm in half mind to actually conclude it here and continue with the backend actually tomorrow. Let's see what all things have we done. See, that will give me a sense. Okay, there are quite a few files, and yeah, I think then it does make sense to have a logical commit over here, and that means a logical video break, so that there's some easy way for users to consume content. Let me quickly walk through all the files and understand what we have done. In here, what have we done? Yeah, this is fine. I wonder why this doesn't show up like that. The only thing which I get is this. But yeah, this is fine. Um, so form, this file is fine. The controller. Now in here, what have we done? I can't see with this particular way. So I'll just do, these are the imports which I have changed. Introduced the type is fine. And handle submit. Yes, this logic is fine. And over here, the handle delete has been changed a bit as well. Okay. Index page, the table has changed. Show page, yeah, this has changed as well. Then I have my create transactions page. Yes, the index page table now also takes the type. This also takes the type. The dashboard will take the type. And yeah, that's fine. Transaction table, we have made some changes over here as well. And it is taking the type and doing these reroutings and stuff. All simplified over here. Definition of this type, web.php. We have introduced the incomes parameters, and yeah, these are basically updates to my packages. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's what I would say we will cover in this video 16, which is handling the UI for income form and table. Okay, so this is what we have done, and um, yeah, potentially in the next video what we will do is we will create the update request so that we are able to update the income in a proper way. And once that is done, we will then start addressing some of the issues that are over here. So what I'm doing over here is whatever is in my mind as ID, as I'm creating some tickets out of it, so that we are able to um, work on them one by one. Okay. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you for being online and going through this video. And if you're watching it later as well, I hope this makes you excited about the project. I have made a good amount of progress on this, and I would like to get some feedback from you. What do you feel about this? What are some features that you may want to have in this? Go to the discussion, start a thread. Let's have an open conversation. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you. Bye. See you in the next video.